Hey guys, what is happening? AnimetalViking here, and welcome to the third episode of Discography Rewind. And for today's episode, I will be reviewing the third album by Dutch symphonic black metal band Carach Angren. This album is titled Where the Corpses Sing Forever. Again, it is a concept album, but this time, instead of being based on a traditional Dutch ghost story, it is, I cannot speak today. It is an original concept, and honestly, one of the best and most unique ones I have ever come across in all of metal. The concept revolves around a soldier who is ordered to execute 7 prisoners, which we hear in the intro track. The 7 tracks that precede the intro tell 7 stories about 7 soldiers from World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War. Then the ending track throws a massive and mindfuck of a plot twist, but I won't spoil the entire story as you should experience it for yourself. Our deck includes a lot more choral instruments in his orchestration pieces, whether it's Gregorian chants or operatic background female vocals. It is another welcome change to the usual violin and piano elements that accompany the orchestral and keyboard synths. Sergel's vocals definitely sound a lot clearer, and his range definitely improved, albeit ever so slightly. His lyricism on this album definitely exceeds that of any of the past 2 records, and even the 2 albums that were to follow. Once again, I have to applaud his narration and punctuation through the use of his vocals. Also, he uses death metal growls in the song Sir John, which actually is appropriate considering the song deals with themes of cannibalism. And like with Lumendum, he incorporates moans, wails, rasps, and cackles to add to the flow of the story and the general creepy atmosphere. Also, his guitar work is great as usual, and hell, there's even the use of a bass guitar, albeit faintly, in the track The Funerary Dirge of the Violinist. Bass guitar is never actually used in black metal, so if anyone is surprised at me being surprised at the use of a bass guitar, now you know why. Namtar showcases more of his drumming range, with the songs becoming a bit more technical in the way they flow and how they complement Ardek's orchestral pieces, though there are times where his drumming seems to get drowned out, but that happens very rarely. The production is definitely a lot heavier than that of the previous album, but not as heavy as Lumendum was. It still manages to sound lo-fi in a clean way, and well, if that makes any sense to anyone. One of the downsides to this album is the fact that one cannot pick out individual tracks and listen to them on their own. Without listening to the entire album, one will be missing out on the overall experience of the concept and the story and even the atmosphere of the album. Overall, this is definitely the best album that the band has produced, in my opinion. The fantastic concept enhances the music and makes the music feel like you're listening to a blackened version of a classical concerto, symphony, or movement. There's a lot of atmosphere, and the lyrics, as terrifying as they are actually very thought-provoking and provide an insight into the hells and atrocities that war causes. The addition of choral elements is a much welcomed bonus to Ardek's usual style of orchestration, and definitely creates a more haunting element to the songs and give them a somewhat melancholic and dark beauty. I cannot praise Sergel's lyricism, vocals, and guitar work enough. The songwriting is on point and flows naturally without sounding forced, and while Namtar's drums can be drowned out sometimes, they generally can be heard 98% of the time. Also, his range from slow tempo to fast tempo is executed extremely well in each song. Plus, the mindfuck at the end of the album is totally worth the experience. So, with that being said, I have to rate this album. I have to rate Where the Corpses Sing Forever 9.5 out of 10. This is definitely the band's best album. It's definitely come into my top 10 metal albums of all time, which is not an easy thing to do because a lot of those top 10s, while one or two of them are fairly recent and came out in fairly recent years, it's it's been quite a few years since a very recent release has managed to topple a more classic album from my top 10. Yeah. Well, with the exception of Vibrant by Dream Shade, of course, but because I mean that was released last year. But anyways, I'm getting a fan. Oh, I also forgot Sabaton's The Last Stand. Hell, I'm not very consistent sometimes when I talk, aren't I? Maybe I should release one of those charts, you know, that show my top 10 and second tier and third tier favorites. Maybe I should release one of those to give you guys a better idea, as opposed to making a fucking 2-hour long video. Anyhow, all that aside, guys, I definitely recommend that you check this album out. If you are into concept albums, especially, again, if you're a fan of symphonic black metal, gothic metal, you will definitely enjoy this album. Also, if you're into classical music, whether you're one of the old school classical music fans, or whether you're a person my age who just happens to enjoy a lot of classical music and is not really into a lot of more modern styles of music, I highly recommend you at least give this at least one listen for the experience, and don't mind the dogs barking in the background if you can hear them through the mic. Fucking dogs. Anyway, so that concludes this episode of Discography Rewind. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. If there is a band whose discography that you would like for me to review, then be sure to check out my Patreon. Details as to how you can submit your suggestions will be over there. The same goes for anime reviews. There are also a ton of other rewards, so take a look at it, see what rewards suit you best. Obviously, it is not required, but donations are much appreciated and will definitely aid in keeping these two channels going, especially in the light of YouTube's blacklisting shadow ban system, and also the ad apocalypse, as it's also known, the ad crisis, ad apocalypse. So again, it is not necessary, but your donations are much appreciated should you be feeling generous. Again, if you liked this video, if you enjoyed this review, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and share this video with your friends. Also, what are your thoughts on Carach Angren as a band, and what are your thoughts on this particular album of theirs? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what your experience was with it, if it was your first time listening to it. I have social media, so if you want to follow me on my Facebook, you can do so. You can follow me on Twitter. I have a My Anime list, which funny enough I forgot to mention in the previous video, so I have a My Anime list. If you want to send me a friend request on My Anime list, then you are more than welcome to do so. I also have a subreddit now, which you can subscribe to if you want to discuss my videos a bit more in depth without the trolling from the YouTube comments. So you're more than welcome to subscribe to my subreddit. I also have a VidMe now, so that in the event that YouTube starts attacking heavy metal YouTube channels or anime YouTube channels, well, then my videos, you will be able to find them over there. So consider either subscribing or following my channel on VidMe. Either one is fine. I don't mind either one. Yeah, definitely check out my VidMe, and there, yeah. That pretty much concludes this episode. So, dogs barking aside, until the next episode, guys, take care of yourselves, and as always, have a kick-ass day.